Now, most of the film revolves around the relationship between Army psychiatrist Douglas Kelly, who's played by Rami Malek, and the former second-in-command to Adolf Hitler, Hermann Goering, who's played by Russell Crowe. It's one time where Russell Crowe's current body type is perfectly fit for the role that he's playing in someone from history. Now, Kelly has to make sure that Goering is mentally fit to stand trial, because the other part of the movie is Michael Shannon's Justice William Jackson, Joseph Jackson. Robert Jackson. I at least get the Jackson
He's
part
the judge.
Right.
That's all we
Well, he's a judge in the U.S. who's hoping to be put on the Supreme Court, but he's tasked with coming up with the legal strategy to both create what are we going to prosecute these people for, how is it going to be done, and then once they create the framework, they have to get this conviction. Because most of the people in the world are like, why aren't we just shooting these guys? They deserve it. That's how we've done it in the past. And I'll let you watch the movie, but Jackson makes a really good speech at one point, a monologue at one point, explaining why they need to do it this way, why we have to be better than what they did, and better than we have been
of
in
the
the
mistakes that led to the World War II. I mean, that they made at
From
World
Versailles.
War I. Yeah. So there's a lot of pressure, and also a lot of pressure to try to not stoop to the level of the Nazis, to be better people, and that's hard. And when you're dealing with war, is there a humanity there? They try to find it.
Well, and part of this, too, there's a little bit of the Silence of the Lambs type psychological games going on between Malek and Russell Crowe's character, because Malek has to get in. He's got to make sure that he knows that Goering's fit to stand trial, but he also needs to, as he's tasked, we need to know what his strategy is, because we need to prepare for his legal strategy. But they're going off what a psychiatrist recommends. Well, John Slattery plays the general who's in charge of all this, the military guy that's the highest ranking, and he's got no patience for this. He wants to be, he's like, well, I'm in favor of just shooting him, but I guess we'll do it this way because I got to follow orders. But this becomes a thing that you start to feel the pressure, and that, to me, is one of the great accomplishments of this film. They're taking a story that you know the outcome. If you want to, you can go online right now and see what happened really in history. But in building it, it does a great job of putting you in, and whatever it is that they do, whether it's through dialogue or whether it's through, usually it's through dialogue, but it reminds you, like, hey, what if you didn't know all that stuff? And you were in this moment right now, and all you knew is what had happened up to that point. And it makes you think of some of those things differently. I mean, the Nazis were evil; they won. But Goering's sitting in his cell, like, hey, if we didn't lose this, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. And it I don't know. I felt transported to that time.
When I sat down to watch, I was like, okay, this is probably going to be kind of boring. I was like preparing myself for sort of a dry historical, film. But it's really not. It's very compelling.
And this is a true character. It's actually based on the book The Nazi and the Psychiatrist by Jack L. High, directed by James Vanderbilt. Now, if you don't know who James Vanderbilt is, he directed the movie, or let's see. Yeah, you won't like him for being a writer on Independence Day Resurgence, but he was a producer for a lot of different things. Let's see, did I miss that on the directing? Maybe this is his first directing job. At any rate, I thought he did an outstanding. Oh, that is a writer, but he is the director too. He did the screenplay on this.
Oh yeah, so this is his second film that he's directed.
Second film that he's directed. Okay. Yeah. Well, I thought he did a fantastic job with it. Yeah. I thought there's some definitely award-worthy performances. Whether they'll actually get some, especially from Russell Crowe, from Malek, and it just. Watching the scene where people in the courtroom see the footage from the concentration camps for the first time, and remembering that we don't know all that we know now. They had just been hearing war propaganda from both sides,
right?
And so now they're actually discovering, and when people see what the Nazis were doing at the camps.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also, as a psychiatrist, he's trying to find the humanity in this man. But then once he does, he almost can't mentally deal with it. It's like, how could this person that I've come to actually care about, he wants to say goodbye to him. He wishes, he's compelled by him. How could he do this? And he can't quite wrap his brain around it.
Yeah, and there are a few twists. The main thing, too, I actually looked up, because as I was watching Goering's testimony in the movie, I was like, did he really say this stuff, or is this like some Hollywood workings to try to convey a message in today's day and age? He said those things. Like, I looked up the transcript of the trial. It was wild. So Nuremberg, I gave this an A-. Honestly, you could talk me into an A, but I gave it an A-. And I highly recommend this for history advocates and fans, for people who like legal dramas, all of those things. But, well, it's worth watching. And it's rated PG-13.
Yeah. It's a good one.
What about you? Fresh then?
Yes, I would go fresh on it.
Fresh on that.